This is the Black Powder Podcast, coming at you live and direct. Your salty tears season my life. It's the Black Powder Podcast. I had to move Tub around because he wasn't being sassy enough in the intro.
What's funny is I really like Tub.
Oh my God, don't tell me he can't hear us. He can't hear us. He had to back out and he's going to come back.
Well, I just thought it was really funny, like Tub peeking around the corner, like he had to look around it to see what was going on. That was good. That was good.
At any rate, once again, it's on. This is the Black Powder Podcast. I am your host with the most on the West Coast, Marcus Matthews, the only real libertarian that has ever existed.
Hey, Tub.
Hey,
now,
hear us now.
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
Look, from here on out, kick Tub and the guest out.
Be for real. In fact, just leave me out though. When you kick me out, kick me way out.
Tub, good bring it back.
Forever.
Okay.
Lost Tub again. Yeah. I don't know why it does. I guess it's looking out for me. It's like, hey, don't have to listen to Marcus. Nobody really wants.
Really
that.
don't.
Hey.
When I get back in, you're done, and Eric is talking.
Yeah,
I have the voice of an angel.
Perfect.
I mean, if you've
Of
ever
a fallen one.
Oh, oof.
hold on, we got a comment. What's up, Eric? And what is that? //
0026.
That's gotta be
code for something?
I don't know. That might be one of you people things. Hey,
Amity, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Oh wow. Just jumping the gun here. I want to thank.
I think she's talking to Free when she says that.
No, that would be me.
I bet she's not.
No,
you guys could just
definitely
turn
not.
to each other and say, "Hey, how you doing?"
Not that goober, goofy goober.
Hold on. You mean to tell me that you've never texted Caitlin from across the room?
I mean, I'm not gonna say never, but I can't remember when I've done it.
Because there have been times we'll be sitting there and I'll be like, yeah, it's right there.
Maybe
now,
if it's
Marcus can't because he's outside of the house.
Yeah,
I'm in the shit
garage.
in the back.
Anyways, all right.
Yeah, we're here with Eric. Eric, I didn't have a. Can I do my damn introduction here?
Now you're done. Hey, I'm doing great, Marcus. Tub, how are you?
Cool. Yeah, Tub, how's it going over here?
Splendid.
All right. So everyone, if you look up top or wherever, it probably says LNC Chair candidate Evan McMahon. If that's what you're reading, it's a lie. That's not our guest tonight, but we do have a guest, and it's not someone worth tuning out for. Let's just say that.
Well, I wanted to introduce him as the hardest working man in the Libertarian Party, aside from me.
Can we refer to him of the James Brown of the Libertarian Party?
That would be me too.
Marcus?
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why? Because can you explain that, Tub? Why is it?
Yeah,
I got the
he's
moves.
our next guest. In show business.
I got the moves.
The James Brown of the Libertarian Party, or Libertarianism, or Liberty.
The hardest working man in the Libertarian Party.
Dude, Free just nailed it.
Free just and without further ado. Well, I'm gonna let me do it. One more little ado.
Do the without some further ados. Or with
hang on, I got one further ado.
Okay.
Can I give an equal shout out to D Dockery? Because that chick does a lot of work also.
She's putting in work behind the scenes.
She's way low key. Yep, she's way low key, but she's
the hardest working woman in the Libertarian Party because we believe in two genders.
Oh.
Here, yeah.
Joe's got prettier hair. Just kidding, D. Your hair's great.
No, Joe does have nice hair. Let's be very clear about that. There it is.
There you go. Look at them locks.
Joe, how you doing this fine evening?
Hey, I am Evan McMahon. I am running for LNC Chair at convention coming up in the end of May. Please vote for me. I am the Indiana State Party Chair.
Evan, is there anyone you'd like to endorse for Florida State House District 28?
Oh man, Joe Hanoush. He is by far the best candidate running down there. And me as Evan McMahon running for LNC Chair has my full support. I'm going to make a motion when I become LNC Chair. I'm going to make a motion to give Joe $100,000 from the LNC bank account to help his account down there. Joe is the best candidate we have running right now in LP.
We need the breaking news.
Hold on.
Where's our producer at?
Sorry,
that was weak.
No, but yeah, I am not Evan McMahon. I am Joe Hanoush.
Oh,
yeah, wait. I know.
Joe, nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you. No, my fellow Florida guys right here. We got two of them right there.
Former.
For the life of me, I have no idea why I can't get away from the state of Florida. This is ridiculous at this point.
Big things popping.
No,
little things stopping.
With California being the fourth largest economy in the world and the largest state as far as libertarian registered voters go, we should have way more.
The largest state as far as government goes.
No, that's not true. New York is way worse than us.
What?
Ooh.
New York is way worse than us.
I don't know. It's just more communist, maybe.
California does have the most number of Libertarian Party members as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, what's it accomplishing?
Hey, there's my fellow opponent there, Rob Gates. We are running against each other for LNC Chair since I am Evan McMahon. I can't read what he says, but I know
he wants to.
Words.
He wants to know. Ask Joe why he hates candidates so much.
Yeah, Rob. I'm just kidding. Yeah, Evan.
I hate candidates so much. As LNC Chair, we're gonna have 100% of our funds go to. By the way,
all right.
I, Evan McMahon, if I get elected, we're gonna go 100% all in, every dollar, every single.
For the record, people, Joe Hanoush is not, and I don't know Evan's platform, but he's not in any way saying this is Evan's platform.
No, I suddenly like Evan.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, I'm on Team Evan.
All right, we have another question for Joe before we get into his Eric's bio. Ask Joe what type of conditioner he uses.
It's Head and Shoulders 2-in-1.
There you go.
Okay, you know what's so funny is when you were doing all this with your hair, I was going to ask you about that right there because we have one guy in particular in our church whose hair is just like that, and we had another one before, and they would never wash their hair, and if they do, it's just water.
Oh, I wash it every day.
Are you talking about that picture of
you're
Jesus?
Not a dirty, nasty guy.
I was gonna say Joe.
And I'm talking about that picture of Jesus.
I'm not.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm not trying to be controversial.
Can you see
here,
it?
but have you ever been asked to dress up as Jesus for anything, like a show, a movie, commercial, documentary, play at church, or anything?
No to all of those. However, I got it so many times, like say, "Oh, you look like Jesus," that I actually was Jesus for Halloween one year.
So he only does it for his cult. He doesn't do it for any other stuff, but the cult that he's leading, he currently does it for that.
Jesus was black.
Jesus was not black.
Jesus was Arab, by the way. He was
George Bush doesn't like black people.
Joe Hanoush is Arab.
Yeah.
See?
Oh.
Hence why he looks like Jesus.
There you go.
He's a descendant of Solomon. And
you know, my family is Catholic, and they were part of the original Catholics in the Middle East.
Do they call them the Orthodox Church, or is it called the Catholic Church?
I forget.
All right.
All righty.
Never mind. Let's move on. Tub.
No, it's Eric's turn. Eric, you got to do your
Hey,
wet
Joe.
wine house bill.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming on the show. I kind of break the ice, which you've already kind of done that for the last 10 minutes. But I like to ask people, and you've heard us ask this a lot. How'd you come into libertarianism? What was the aha moment? And when did you join the Libertarian Party? And I know you've run multiple times, but what made you decide to run this time for this particular office?
All right, so 3 very different questions there. So when I first had the aha moment that I was a libertarian, was actually I was doing an online political quiz, and it's still up as far as I know. I checked it like a year ago maybe, but it's isidewith.com. So if that still works, I encourage everyone to go out there and do it. isidewith.com, and ask you like, I don't know, 60 questions, and it's not just yes or no. There's some nuance to it. And at the end of it, I did this in like 2011 or 2012, one of those years, and like it gives you a percentage for how close you are to what candidates were running, what party you belong to. And for me, it came out to like 93% or something libertarian. So I'm not 100% like Marcus, but I was like 93%. Yeah. So, and the next closest was the Constitution Party at like 72%. So it was a huge, significant drop off. So I was like, okay, I'm clearly a libertarian here. And then after that, wondering where the Democrats and Republicans were, they were about 50%. So I was like really 50-50 on either one of those. And just to back up a little bit, I had come from both those parties, by the way. I was a Democrat at one point because I believed in some of their views, because like when I was growing up, like a teenager or whatever, like, my friends, my friends only, not me, my friends only would, smoke weed. They would, just stuff like that. Like, my parents, my parents are immigrants, right?
Yeah.
So those were a lot of the things that Democrats kind of agreed with. So I was like, okay, well, I care about those issues too. So maybe I'm a Democrat. So I voted Democrat, and then they just weren't doing at all what they said they were, anti-war. No, they weren't. So then I went over to Republicans, because I agreed, like, you should be able to have self-defense, with owning a gun. I believe in lower taxes, lower spending. And then they weren't exactly in favor of those things either. So I decided to be single for a while. So I was single for a little bit. I was done with the parties. That's why in 2011, 2012, when I did that quiz, I didn't join the Libertarian Party at the time, because I wanted to be single. I got cheated on twice by the major 2 parties. I'm going to be single for a while. And then, so I voted for Gary Johnson twice, 2012 and 2016. And then in after 2016, I was just like, man, Hillary and Trump were just both bad. Like, they were really bad, and people are just not getting it. And I had a moment where I was filling out my ballot, and it was like, these Republicans and Democrats down the line are bad. I can't even look up anything. Like, they're just posting pictures of themselves on a boat or something, and that's their whole campaign. I'm like, they got 0 policy position. So guess what? That sounds like complaining, right? So I'm in favor of complaining, by the way. Please complain. It's the First Amendment right there. But you got to do something behind it. You got to take some action. So at that moment, I was filling out my sample ballot in 2016. I was like, I'm running for this next time. So I decided to run for office at that point for State House in 2018. I changed my voter registration to Libertarian. I joined the Libertarian Party. I got involved in my local affiliate here. The rest is history there. And as far as like why I'm running this time, because I want to build viability. This is my 5th time running as a Libertarian now. I ran in 2018, 2020, 2022, 2024, and 2026 now. And it's to build viability for the party. Because if we're not on the ballot, people don't see us. And they'll vote for Democrats or Republicans. When they have a choice to vote Libertarian, that could be the planting the seed for them voting for us in the future, donating it to us in the future. Maybe them running for office in the future. I ran for office because of Gary Johnson and the Senate candidate we had here in 2016. He invited me out to a local affiliate. He happened to be living in my same county. So we got to build viability, and I'm not saying I'm going to win this time or whatever, but next time the candidate who runs after me might have a better chance. Like, oh, Joe's a Libertarian. I like Joe. I'm going to vote for this guy. So just breaking the wall to get to building the Libertarian Party into the pro-liberty alternative to the authoritarian duopoly. We got to have a viable option that's pro-liberty.
Speaking of complainers, Tub, what do you got?
I'm sick of Marcus. I'm making my notes.
That's what he wrote down.
All the ways that I dislike Marcus, I just keep writing them down. And he knows this is just for tonight. I'm already 3 pages in.
I just want to say I tried to change the name of the stream for free. Mr. Perfect here, who's complaining in the chat and texting me about change the name. My bad. I'm not perfect, okay? I'm trying my best.
Yeah, we brought that up pregame, and that was why
your best should be a little bit better.
Yeah,
you should try a little bit more.
Actually, right up top, do you not see edit? Do you not have that on?
Yeah, I clicked on edit.
Right.
Everything's grayed out.
Edit. I could change it. Well, all right, just watch it from my Facebook or my YouTube, and it says Joe Hanoush. That's all it says, but it says Joe Hanoush.
Never change.
We're not even called the Black Powder Podcast anymore. It's just Joe
Hanoush. Literally,
the Joe Hanoush Show.
Now we got a Tub fan.
I didn't even say show. I just said
this is
Hanoush.
ridiculous. We actually have a Tub fan here. It says Marcus should be nicer to Tub.
People understand who you are.
Hey, can we run? All right, we got some comments that I haven't
remember
seen.
A minute ago, somebody said, Marcus said, Tub, what do you have? And I do. And now you won't shut up long enough for me to actually do anything. So, Marcus, if you don't need us on here, tell us. All right? And then what that means is don't text me 10 minutes. Dude, where are you? Don't call me while I'm actually clicking the link to get on. So chill out, Marcus. All right,
you know what I'm about to tell you, right?
All right.
Because all those things happened in the last
I love you, Tub.
All right, some comments. We got some comments. Terry Batts said that has to be Joe. We put that up earlier. Joe Free said Joe is the most underrated guy in the whole Liberty movement. Terry Batts said, hi, Joe. We put up some other stuff. I'm saying ones that I'm seeing that are not put up there. Because Terry said, because the best live in Florida. Rob Yates did some smiling, laughy faces.
Horse plop.
That's true.
Terry Batts, I want Joe to see this one. Says, hey, Joe, want to do lunch. So y'all need to talk. Hopefully she's going to contribute to your campaign. Speaking of, throw his link up there.
What does this one mean? Is Joe still in the Al Caucus?
Is that like a...
Oh, we have a terrorist caucus in the Libertarian Party. I'm the chair of that.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding.
You went from Jesus to terrorist.
Real.
It's like you didn't have to change. You didn't have to change your hair or anything.
Just change the words. Everything else falls into place.
I gotta get a Distasha on me. Yeah.
Yeah. Bree said, "What time will Tubbs Echo start?" I can hear right now. It is disconcerting. That must have been when he dipped out. I don't know.
But I do want to give a shout out to Terry, though. Terry is the Joe Hanoush of Free Show. So yeah, she does a lot of good work. I actually talked to her on the phone, I think yesterday, about getting some candidates on her show and helping her out. And so yeah, Terry does an awesome job. I'm a big fan of Terry and Free.
She needs to pay a licensing fee.
Brown of Are You Smarter Than a Politician?
What was the first part of your question? What?
Does that make her the James Brown? Because we decided before we started that you are the James Brown of the Libertarian Party. And
hardest working man in the Libertarian Party.
Yeah, I wanted to see if Joe understood because Eric lost that one. Eric was lost on
I was like, what is that he's black and sweaty. I don't know.
What?
Yeah, that's what it is.
James Brown.
And he wears really cool capes. All right, now.
Yeah, that's racist.
What's racist?
I don't know. We're just gonna go with that.
Go ahead. I feel like we have no real role. We have no direction tonight. It's just
we got direction, but I don't know that it's the direction Joe wants us to go.
No, I don't care. I'm having fun. No, we went from I wasn't even supposed to be on, so I'm good with whatever. This is just hanging out. I'm having a good time.
All right. Rob Yates asked, have you ever walked on water, multiplied fish and loaves of bread, or performed any other miracles?
I've only turned water into wine. That's it. This is white wine right here.
There you go. And
I say most people do it the other way around.
Amity said Jesus was at least brown and Catholics represent. And then there. I feel
like these are a bunch of comments that we should just be arguing about.
And then
I feel like
Free said
so much correction needed tonight.
I'm just trying to catch up. Free said Joe's a big draw. Change the name of the stream.
I'm trying.
Do it. Try harder.
Do we have more viewers than normal right now, or no? I don't know.
We're about our average. We tend to tick up towards the end of the show, but yeah, we're close to 300 people watching right now.
Wow.
You mean to tell me right now, 300 people don't have anything better to do in their lives than to listen to this drivel?
I'm the draw here.
Hey.
I am the draw. So.
Hey, Joe, that has nothing to do with you. That's us any week.
Stop! I'm here. I'm watching the show.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
That's why.
All right, so Joe, you mean to tell me you don't have anything else better to do than you're listening to this meaningless stuff?
Literally, Joe would be watching it right now, rolling his eyes.
I would.
It's like, oh God.
All right, so I have questions that pertain to Joe and the race that he is running. The race for your state house, not for LNC Chair 2, right?
Evan McMahon.
All right, so we'll start with. They're going to wonder why Evan McMahon is running for LNC Chair and at large and Florida State House. All right. Anyways. Can I ask my questions now?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Okay. Damn. I actually have 3 of them. All right. And we'll just, actually, I'm sorry. I got 3 questions and 1 statement. So you had mentioned that you were running first, so that it could be easier for the ones who come behind you. And Eric and I can definitely attest to that. That was our goal here in Jacksonville, was that we'll go out there, we'll take the arrows, we'll answer the questions, we'll kind of try to beat back some of the stuff so that way there, when the next ones come, it'll be a little bit easier. You know what I'm saying?
Then they never showed up.
Yeah, and then Eric ran away. Let me ask you, so these are somewhat, let's ask them like this. What have you, because you've run, is this your 5th time? 5th. So what have your numbers been? Do you find, go ahead, just answer that, or you can explain if they're up, down.
So great question, and I do want to talk about that because that is important. I think our goal should be to do better than we did before, right? When apples are apples, right?
Yep.
So this is my 4th time running for state house. I ran for Congress once. That was in 2022. So that was a bit of an outlier. It was heads up as well. So it's not really apples to apples. I got like 25% of that heads up against the incumbent that raised $2 million to my $2,000. So I think I did relatively well in that. But as far as the last 3 state house elections, I did do a little bit better each time.
Do you know what those numbers are?
Yeah, it was 1.7% was the first time. And by the way, I went all out that first time. Like I campaigned, like I went into debt, personal debt, my first campaign because I was not working anymore. I was focused on collecting petitions. I went to hobnobs outside of my district just to get my name out there. I was doing radio interviews. I was door knocking. I did everything you could possibly think of for a campaign, my first campaign. And here's something really funny story here. Like about a week before that first election day in 2018, I really didn't know what to expect. I know as running as third party, probably not, brand new, first time running. And I was up against 2 elected officials, by the way. One of them was running for or she was a elected soil and water board, and then she was running for this race. And then the other one was incumbent. So I was up against 2 elected officials. And they both raised more money than me. Anyway, I was on a radio, and a little local political radio guy, and he's been in politics for like 30 years. He used to be the Volusia County Council chair, actually. And he told me on air, by the way, he said between 95 and 98% of the voters in your district have never heard of you before. And I was speechless. I was floored. I was like, there's no way. That's impossible. And then I got 1.7%. So I actually called him back the next day, or maybe 2 days after the election. And I was like, you said, up to like 98% of the people don't know who I am. So only 2% do, right? I got 1.7% of the vote. So all those people that knew who I was, I did got like 80% of those votes. So so I tried to turn a negative into a positive there. Then the second time, I didn't campaign as hard. By the way, that was 2020 when COVID hit, right? So I couldn't do very much that year. So everything, I basically campaigned online once that happened. And I got 2.3% of the vote that year. And then this last time in 2024, I did very little campaigning, honestly, because I was helping out other candidates, as you guys know, and I got 2.4% of the vote. So I did even a little bit better when I did less campaigning. I still did campaigning. I still door knocked a little bit, but a hurricane came through the end, which, threw my door knocking timetable off. So, but I try to do what I could while fulfilling my other responsibilities, as you guys know, with the Libertarian Party. Yeah, so I've been doing better while I've been doing less, honestly.
So I was gonna say, so in 28, you should run again and not wear the T-shirt. Don't tell anybody. Just kind of be like, and then you're gonna end up in office.
Hey, that's
his lucky shirt.
I will say one other thing here about that, though. You never know what's going to happen. You really don't. You could find yourself heads up against the incumbent, and then the incumbent, something happens, right? And next thing you know, you're the only one left, and you get elected. And when I was doing research for this in 2016, a third of the seats for state legislature here in Florida uncontested. I mean, you could have been heads up. Anyway, that's. I could talk forever about that, but
that's actually why Eric changed his race, because the guy he ended up running against was going in uncontested.
Yeah, he was unopposed, and I was like, I'm not going to let that happen. So I switched from a race that had 3 other Republicans and then me as a Libertarian to a race with just 1 Republican. And I ended up breaking records and all that.
There you go.
For a third party. I still didn't win. I'm still first place loser, but you get the point.
Hey, Terry wants to know, hey, Joe, I'm working on videos. Did I just really hear you say?
No, you did not hear that, Terry. Way to go, Tub.
I'm running for your LNC chair.
There you go.
Evan said that shirt was white 3 elections ago.
It was actually. No.
And
Marcus,
Yates. Hey, I have no Neanderthal in me. I don't take part in any Europeanism.
Marcus, do you want some? Just kidding.
Oh my!
Okay. Set myself up for that one. Anyway, back to Tub. He had was question 1.
You answered the one. And so how about this? Each time now that you've run, do your issues change, or do they tend to kind of be the same thing?
Great question. My first campaign, I actually have my first campaign's postcard right here next to me here.
Hey, put his link up, Marcus. Do something.
Yeah, it's joehanush.com.
Yes, sir. I was right on it.
Yeah. But so here's the 5 points I had on my first card, my first campaign. I use this for my second campaign as well. Healthcare service price transparency. So I'll go through them all here and I'll explain to them if you guys want.
Yeah.
Protect and restore Second Amendment. I know you guys like that one. Restore former felon rights. Eliminate property tax, replace with sales tax. And then decriminalize cannabis. Those were my 5 points, and I ran for in my first 2 campaigns. And for the most part, yeah, they are the same. The one that isn't on there anymore is restore former felon rights, because in 2018, as Eric and Tub know, that was on the ballot here, and that actually passed. So don't need to do that anymore. But the rest of them, I am in favor of. And on my website, there's a couple more points up there. I did add a environmental platform plank on there. And frankly, that's my number 1 issue right now. And the other one is school choice. I added that to my platform as well. So with school choice, here in Florida, we have the personalized education program, which, by the way, Terry told me about. So it's up to Terry again. And that's allocates about $7,000 or $8,000 per student per year here in Florida. Well, in my county, we spend like north of $20,000 per student per year. And that might be different in other counties here in Florida, but that's what my county spends on for public enrolled students. So what I would like to do is double it to, let's say, 15,000, and then cut taxes by a third. So it'd be about, so we're doing a libertarian thing where we're offering more choice, and we are also reducing taxes. So that's what I would like to do there. And the other one was the environmental plank. So right now, when you guys probably see this all the time, especially around where you guys live, bigger cities than where I live, you'll see grass in the medians, right? Or on the sides of the roads, and about once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, There are just sometimes they'll block off a road on a major highway or a major street, and they'll have guys going out there and cutting the grass, and then they'll spray some stuff on there, right? And then that creates runoffs and poison, right? And that all costs money. And I found that out when I was on the budget advisory board for my city of Ormond Beach here for about 4 budget cycles. And it costs a lot of money. Budgets are a huge amount of money. So what I want to do is go to Florida friendly or Florida native landscaping. It looks better, needs a lot less irrigation, and needs a lot less maintenance, which means a lot less tax dollars going to that. And it's better for an environment because you're not spraying poisons in there. So it's good all the way around. But yeah, those are like big issues I've added to my platform since 2018.
All right, so I want to ask you something, but also, so what I have suggested for those same type of issues, the median, grass cutting, stuff like that, I suggested that you privatize it by people volunteering. So like Jacksonville is loaded up with small lawn care businesses. And so I said, here's what you do, because we actually have a large budget here in Jacksonville to take care of all of those type of things. And what we found, there's been a lot of abuse inside of it. So there's people that contracted out, and we've caught them. In fact, Ron Armstrong made a post about it. He's running for mayor here. And he's talking about how they're catching them sitting on the side of the road, not doing anything, never even taking the mowers off the back of the trailers or anything. So I had said, any one of these companies around here, get all of them involved and let them sponsor all of these areas. And then what they can do is they can put their little sign out there saying, hey, this area is serviced by, and they're responsible for it. And then here's what you can do. The more they upkeep with it, the better chance they have of actually getting customers out of it too. That people go, hey, they're doing a pretty good job. I'm interested in that. So we'd be able to promote small businesses, get work done for free. And I think it'd be very easy to implement the idea that you just said is, hey, some of the natural flowers, let them go. Or, the products that we're going to use on site of them, same thing. We can just allow that. Now, real quick, let me ask you this. So what have you found of your issues? And we'll maybe say this time specifically. What of them really seems to get more traction? Do you find that people are more interested in one? And is it because they like it, or they're just saying, Joe, you're crazy?
Well, the one that they say I'm crazy on is getting rid of the property tax, because they instantly they think, oh, we're going to lose school funding, we're going to lose police funding, we're going to lose fire funding, etc. on that. But as far as the one that they agree with most of the time is schooling. And that's the reason why I added it to the platform, was when I was out there talking to people, and I don't have any kids, so it was not really even on my radar, right? So I graduated high school many years ago, wasn't even on my radar. So, but I would be like outside the library or something, talking to tutors. These are teachers who are not making enough money, as we all know that, and they'll tutor to make money on the sides, at the library or something, right, with a kid. So I would talk to them, and they gave me the idea, it's basically tutoring. What is that? It's Uber. It's Uber for education. And I was like, what if you could make, again, going back to the $15,000 a year per student, you could make $45,000 per year per student for a family of 3 kids. You could be devoted to just 3 students all year, one family, work around their schedule and your schedule, whichever works out. So you don't have to be there Monday to Friday, whatever, 8 till 2 or 3 o'clock, whatever. If evenings work better for you as an educator and for the family, great, do that. If weekends work better, great, do that too. So that's really Uber for people actually like that. These tutors that I talk to, they actually like it. And not only that, I'll tell this too. Like when I drive around, I'm sure you guys see this too. But when you'll see a lot of cars waiting in line for the kids to come out, right? They're just sitting there waiting. Why not have them be able to go home? Be at home, be at work, whatever the thing is, and just have the tutor come to your house. Have a room for them, or just the kitchen table, whatever work. The library. The library they were already doing that. It's a very popular thing. So
I like the idea of co-op schools. So where same premise really is what it is. But here's the question I'm trying to better understand what you're saying. So you're saying the allotted money that would be going for them to be in a government school, they could use that for however they choose to use it.
Well, right now, yes, but right now you can go, like there is like, quote unquote vouchers.
Right.
They could take $7,000 or $8,000 a year and go where they want, right?
But how do you said you want to increase that, but then you're also going to lower taxes? Is that what you were saying?
Yes.
Okay. How does that work?
Yeah. So in my own county, in Volusia County, the school board budget is like $1.3 billion, something like that. And we have roughly 58,000 publicly enrolled students. So if you do the math on that, it's a little bit north of $20,000 per year per student. So so that's the cost, right, to the taxpayer for a public schooling. So that's roughly three times the amount that you could get for school choice, effectively. Mm-hmm. So I would double that amount to 15,000, and then you could also, once that student's out of public school,
that. Got it. Okay.
You save about $7,000 or $6,000, whatever the number is. So you save and you increase allocations for school choice.
All right. So we got the link to Joe's page posted here. The most important part of this link is after the last slash, and that's donate, because you can't just sit here and try to be a meme lord and super cool like me. That's not your positions. Don't do that. That's for me. Okay. So let's put our money where our memes are. Open up your wallet, kick in whatever you can, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100 to Joe's campaign, and show up for the people that are doing the right thing. I have a question here related to your educational plan from Rod. My bad, homie. It says, how does your plan address the imbalance between educational administration waste, and teaching staff shortfalls?
Yeah, so I'm sure y'all have seen that chart of school staff just skyrocketing, right? Yeah. So I think, and I might be wrong on this. Actually, I'm not going to say because I might be wrong. But anyway, the ratio of students per employee is like 3 to 1 or something like that. Anyway, I shouldn't have said that because I don't know the actual number. But yeah, staff pay is incredible. So notice what I said though. It is if you're a tutor and you got parents and you got a student, where's the admin? Where's the staff? You don't have any of that anymore. So you don't need to have a school board. You don't need to have a what's it called? The superintendent, all that stuff. You don't need to have someone answering calls at the school. Like all that stuff goes away, and this is not going to happen overnight. I'm not saying get rid of all the public education next year or whatever. It's going to take time for people to move to these other services, and it'll just sunset on its own. And by the way, if people don't want to do this, then the public school system stays the same. Mm-hmm. So that's the market. The market has decided we're good with that. And you know what? I'm good. If parents get to decide what they want to do with their students' education, and they have the money to do it. If they want to go to public school, fine. If they want to do a tutor, fine. If they want to do community schooling, good. If they want to do private schooling, good. Religious, whatever works for you, for that family, I want you to do that.
See, what happens once you do that is it promotes competition.
Yeah.
And so what happens, these government schools in particular, that right now they don't have any, because they're going to get money, and then the money they force the kids to go to that place where the money is. As to even opposed to, I like the idea of the money in the backpack, that wherever the child goes is where the money goes also. So once you start that competition, even amongst the government schools, they no longer have this free pass of just being able to just kind of walk through and do whatever it is they're going to do. Now they have standards they have to keep, because if they don't keep up the standards, the parents can go, I'm not sending my kid there, and I'm going to send them somewhere else. And I like the idea that it starts the competition, that it shouldn't just be that it's either a private school or, however the many various things you can do, or a government school. You should have that competition amongst the government schools also, where they now to perform to actually get the funds and the students in there. And I think a plan like what you're saying would start causing that.
Well, that's the fundamental problem with government, is they don't have any competition. They have a monopoly on violence. That's the first thing they have over us, because they could literally kill us because they were scared. And then who else are you going to turn to? If you don't play within their system, then you're screwed. And that's where the Libertarian Party needs to come with the messaging, because that's every American's problem. That's not a uniparty problem. It's every single American has this issue where the government can simply decide. And, I was thinking about this the other day. We were talking about Bitcoin last week, and, there's a lot of, it was on Free Show. He was talking about Bitcoin and advocates for that. And I was like, the government has control over the internets, so to speak, because there was a ransomware attack where the ransomer asked for whatever X amount of Bitcoin, and the government sent it to them, but they put a tracker in it, and they took it all back once they got the ransomware taken, the situation fixed. So the fundamental problem here, and what it always boils down to, is government. We had a question. Well, D had a comment. Let me see if I can pull it back. Oh, not D. D's here. I wanted to say shout out to D, the hardest working woman in the Libertarian Party. But Terry comes in with a comment. I recommend teacher tutor teams as a business to the teachers I work with specifically for homeschool students or mini schools.
Uber Tutor.
Word.
There's probably an app for that.
Probably. I should have created it like 8 years ago.
Gosh, you should have at least created it before you said it here live, and all of our fans steal your idea.
Trademark by Evan McMahon for LNC Chair.
And Rob Yates comes in and says, I would watch a teacher tutor teams on OnlyFans.
Oh, geez.
See, all right, he went too far right there. See, y'all remember the episode of Seinfeld when George was going to always leave on a high note? Like he was going to say something kind of funny, then he was going to get out of there. Rob Yates should have done that when he said 3 elections ago Marcus was white too. And they should have just dipped out, just left at that moment right there.
Evan McMahon is back in the lead for LNC Chair. Woohoo!
He's not last. Anyways.
At any rate, Tub, I wanted to talk about the weed thing for a moment. Because
of course you would.
California did the weed thing and they screwed it up royally. Gavin Newsom could mess up a kid's birthday party. I had to PG my comment for Tub, but Gavin Newsom could mess up a lot of things. Colorado and Oregon had rec weed models for years and years and years before California. And they saw a tax revenue in doubled or triple digit hundreds of millions of dollars, whatever it was. But it was very successful, and it supplemented their budget. And, I don't know if they passed those savings on by cutting other stuff, which government should do, but we know government's not going to do that. But with Florida and all the talk of ending property taxes, being that it's tourist mecca, probably after California.
It's not going to happen. Let me be it's not going to happen.
Can I finish my damn statement?
I'm trying to correct you and show you that's not going to happen. I'm trying to help you, Marcus.
I know.
But ignorant. All right.
California, the 4th largest economy in the world, is
we already said it once. We don't need to hear it again. Terry
is a major tourist. But can you imagine Mickey Mouse and weed, Miami Beach and weed, Daytona
Beach? Already?
Well,
you make it sound like there's no weed around.
I'm just saying, when you're talking about cutting taxes,
Jacksonville and meth. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I mean specifically property taxes, because I do have a vested interest in Florida. My dad does live there. Like I've.
And what does your dad do?
He's retired. Man. He used to be the CIO for Coral Springs.
Was he a deacon though? I mean,
he was a deacon. Yeah, but he was a deacon in California. That's where I found my spiritual foundation.
Even out there.
Yeah. At Morning Star Baptist Church.
The Jesus movement, the Calvary Chapel movement, in that thing.
Oh, I cannot stand Calvary. Hey, we had Turning Point USA to one of our schools. They're coming to one of our schools tomorrow, and it's a big effing deal. out here.
Are you
It's about
going?
to get
You're
ugly.
gonna go in your freedom shirt?
Hell no. It's going to be during contract hours. I have no opinion on the matter during contract hours. Anyway,
because you work for the government.
either
All right,
Tub is
question.
praying for us right now, or he has a question.
Next
Both.
question.
It needs to be both. Listen, trust me, it's not an amen one. And so, Joe, let me actually. You know what? This is a question for all of us. Okay.
No.
So, as you know, like you just mentioned, that we tend to be legalized marijuana. And once you say that, people go, what? You just want to legalize meth too and everything else? How do you realistically respond to that?
Great question, Tub. And part of my platform this time around is focused on what can I actually get done. It's not like, this utopia, libertarian utopia. It is like, I want a platform that is, whether I get elected, I want to be able to file that bill for everything I want to do, right? Those 6 points, file a bill. And I want to be able to have either popularity for it, like the people back it, majority of the people back it, or I could talk Republicans and Democrats into doing it, and whoever the governor is into signing it. Like I want it to be something people want to do, and I believe that's what it is. I mean, we're in a Republican state, obviously, so a lot of my issues lean Republican, like the Second Amendment one. I'm not looking to repeal all of the SB 7026, which I'll explain that in a second. But it was basically the most anti-Second Amendment bill to ever passed here in Florida in 2018, and I'm just trying to raise the age back down, lower the age back down from 21 to 18 to purchase a firearm. Because right now in the state of Florida, we got a lot of universities here, a lot of colleges. It's a big college state, really, and a lot of those people are in that age range, 18 to 21, and they're on campus and they don't have protection because it's not allowed. You're not allowed to purchase a firearm here. So that's something I think makes sense. Republicans should be on board with. And when it comes to cannabis, it's something that most people are already on board with. They're already in favor of at least people not going to jail for cannabis anymore, right? They don't want a smoke shop at every corner, but at least let's not put people in jail for it anymore. I think that's reasonable. I think all Democrats could get on board with that, even some Republicans. I think that's something that could pass. I think I answered your question on that, but I keep going if you want.
No, you did.
Well, actually, I left that for everybody. So what do you do when they say, hey, you want to legalize marijuana? Why don't you just, and they always go to the extreme with it. What's the true good answer to that?
So it's just real short. I'll just put a button on this. I'm trying to get something that'll be passed, right? So right now, I'm just saying, I just want to do cannabis. That's it. We're going to see how it goes. If people don't eat each other's faces off again in 5 years, then we'll try to do more. But I want everyone to have. I want people to want that.
Do you think what you just said right there sets up the bigger problem? Once you just said, "Oh, then we'll try to do more." Do you think that then makes people go, "Well, I'm not going to do this one because I don't want the more"?
Maybe but they wouldn't be being reasonable though. But what I'm saying is something reasonable. Let's try it. And those people, they're never going to vote for it anyway. Like they don't even want cannabis to be legalized. So they're going to vote against it anyway. But what I'm saying is if everything goes well, if we don't have these just everything bad happening, right? Then we move on from that and we try to get more people not to go to jail for a victimless crime. I'll let the other ones talk now.
Do y'all want to answer that or you leave that alone?
Whenever I was a candidate, was there another part of the question, Tub?
No, that's it.
All right.
Just see how you answer it when they say, hey, it's going to go to the next thing.
I would, as a local candidate, running for Jacksonville, and there was a time at that WBOB Hobnob, super conservative event, super Republican, and a lady came up to me, like, libertarian, huh? How do you feel about drug legalization? And I said, well, of course, I believe in marijuana legalization. And I think I said psilocybin, mushroom. And she was like, yeah, but what about fentanyl? And how do we keep it out of and I tried saying, well, if some things were legalized, you could actually have like the CVS test your drugs for you. And she thought that was the craziest thing you've ever heard of. I was like, but they do it in Portugal. And then she was like, I lost my son to fentanyl, so I'm not going to be able to support you. There was nothing I could have said to this lady that would have won her vote, unless I said, I want every drug dealer put in prison for the rest of their life. You know what I mean? Like there was nothing I could have said unless I said, I want the person who sold those drugs to your son that he bought killed. You know what I mean? Like that's what she wanted, vengeance. She didn't want common sense.
I do want to jump in real quick here. And Eric, you're right. I agree with you. She's not going to vote for you no matter what. But what I would say is, if it were legal, then someone that does other drugs, whatever, won't have the stigma or won't have the illegality of it to come forward and say, I need help. Instead of going to jail, like, oh, they're going to arrest me for this. So they could actually seek help. And so I think that would be helpful overall. It helps that person, helps their family, et cetera. So anyway, I just wanted to get that out there. I think we should look at the issue differently.
Well, we had the great Mary J. Ruward on this podcast twice before, and this same subject matter came up, and it was specifically about the harder, quote-unquote, illegal drugs like fentanyl, cocaine, and heroin, or whatever. And she was saying the reason why people overdose on that type of stuff is because of the black market. If it was legal, and not saying regulated, but if it was legal and you had options and choices, you wouldn't get the bad crap. If you want to shoot something in your vein or swallow a pill, you wouldn't be getting things that are dangerous, like what you think may be MDMA, but it's actually fentanyl. You're not getting that stuff because now you have a marketplace for whatever intoxicants you may care for. And that's where I think the conversation, when they say, oh, well, you want to legalize meth, how about some high quality meth from Walmart? How about that? That's what, Walmart seems like the natural, especially in Florida. Walmart seems like a natural place to buy meth.
Stuff Tubbs cooking in his bathtub. We want the good stuff.
The good stuff. Yeah, not just it's not the garbage I'm making.
Yeah. I just to that point, but
gin.
Yeah, but at the same time, there was truth to what Mary J. Ruward said. You can't expect.
That's such a. I'm just saying
quality products in a black.
Philosophically, I agree. That's such a difficult argument to say to Republican voters trying to win an election. Like, well, like realistically, Joe's knocking on the doors of a bunch of Republicans. I'm assuming, Joe, and I don't know if we're gonna have time. Kind of wanted to get into like the makeup of your district and all this and all that, but I'm assuming you already said heavy red Republican,
state of Florida district, yada yada yada. That's your vote.
Well, we need to get back to that incrementalism part of the libertarian platform too, because we can't just shove all this liberty up the keister of America without some proper lubrication and whatnot.
You're right. It's correct.
Call back last week.
Yeah, we're going to stretching.
I'm going to try to get us right out of what Marcus just said. I'm going to try to segue right out. So when I was running last time, I remember one day in particular, we were going out, we were putting signs out, and there were two young black guys going and putting signs out for the guy who was running against me. No, Marcus, hang on.
Oh, my bad.
The good one that was running against you.
So they were putting signs out, and I said, hey, why do you like him? And they go, well, he wants to make changes. I said, what changes? They go, well, he's helping the people. I'm like, how's he helping the people? And they have no good answer. I said, let me ask you a question.
How much are you paying you to do this?
If marijuana was legalized, because they said, well, what do you have? And they weren't being ugly. They were just asking, like, hey, what? I said, what if marijuana was legalized? I said, let me ask you a question. I said, how many times somebody one of your friends, one of your family members got arrested for marijuana possession? I said, now they had a criminal record because of it. I said, and how many of them after that, now it's harder to find a job and it's harder to move ahead and get these things done because they had a possession or whatever charge of marijuana. I said, imagine if they didn't have that and marijuana was legal. And they go, well, that would probably change their whole life. I said, exactly. I said, so I don't even look at it as somebody, because I don't smoke. I never have smoked. I'm probably not. You can make all the drugs legal today. I'm still not going to do them. And so, and you know what it is? Most people are that
boring.
same way. They're still, I know. But you know how many people, you can legalize all the drugs and most people still aren't going to do them.
Sure.
What about just it's a personal choice?
Just a little toot. Just a little toot of cocaine. Just a little toot.
Once I said that, they were all like, wait, that would. So I think that so many times we allow them to take the argument in a place that doesn't need to be. Put it realistically. Put it in real life terms. It's not about getting high. It's not about using other drugs. It's about, hey, how do we not ruin somebody's life over the fact that they had marijuana? Which, in all honesty, especially here in Florida, you can go to basically some fake doctor. He'll give you a little card, and all of a sudden it's legal now. And now all of a sudden you can have it. And tell them, listen, if you think I only lose 100 points for that, you haven't been paying attention to the whole show.
Hey, I have to tell you one thing about the card. One thing about the card, if you have it, you simply cannot own a firearm right now. That will put you in federal peril if you have a card and a firearm.
I think there is a loophole there legally, and I'd like to see the lawsuit.
But I think the federal documentation says if you're addicted to marijuana, I think.
Well, that's
but actually, doesn't Florida have
something
that's saying that it's not interfere with a concealed carry?
I'm not sure, but there's a case
purchase form is what I'm talking about.
The firearm that's a federal form, but there is a case before the Supreme Court right now on this matter, and we should get the ruling on that this summer, which is I'm not too confident in because
I don't know,
because they did just reschedule it again, and America is moving in that direction, but we have in an entirely boomer, I think minus one or two boomer Supreme Court that grew up on Dare and Ronald Reagan's BS.
Wait, you don't think your dog Clarence is token? Look at him,
Uncle Clarence. Only thing because people like to praise him. He gutted the Miranda rights. A lot of people want to ignore that fact. He's been good
was years ago.
Yeah, years ago. He's been good on the Second Amendment, but every case where there is government power, he sides with the government every single time. He's never sided with the people. What are you showing us?
Oh, you can't read that? No, actually what it's saying that technically here in Florida, the way the law still is they do not interfere, that you can have your concealed carry and have medicinal marijuana.
Okay, well, here in California, they would charge your ass.
California.
Yeah.
Oh,
remember that state that's not as bad as New York, according to you?
Rob's digging his opponent. That's an epic dig by Rob for his opponent.
We're running out of time with Evan, and I would like to ask him about his
enough questions.
LNC at large 2, correct?
We're not allowed to ask him about that.
No, he said we could.
No, he said that one thing he doesn't want.
It's out there now. Now it's out
there. Tub, next question. Oh, you're out? All right, my turn.
No, I said that's already out there.
Hey, Joe. How's it going? Change the subject. Tub, why can't you pay attention? Jeez.
Anyways.
Eric,
Joe.
It's all the weed he smokes.
Eric's the one that's not paying. Joe, would you like to answer that question, please?
What was the question?
You guys argue like a married couple.
About you running
he said he
large.
Doesn't want to talk about that. The one thing he doesn't want to talk about.
Eric, I think Eric checked out on us there for about 30 seconds after you said that.
All right.
So I am not Evan McMahon running for LNC Chair. But I am considering, I have considered it, and I am currently running for LNC. This is the Libertarian National Committee Region 2 representative. So that covers 4 or 5 states. We'll see what happens after convention or before convention, I think. But I'm just kind of doing that as a placeholder until I can see candidates that are going to be better than me. Because if there is, then I'll drop out and I'll vote for them. But I've not seen 2 people, because there's a regional representative and a regional alternate. So I would want to see 2 people that believe in what I believe, that for the direction of the Libertarian Party, And I think that should be supporting candidates. Obviously, I'm a candidate, 5-time candidate. I'm here with a couple other, hopefully a third one, the Libertarian Party, running for office. I'm a big supporter of that, and that's my criteria. So I want to see if there's two people that are 100% in favor of supporting Libertarian candidates running for office, then I won't have to run for Region 2 representative. But until then, I am.
Enough of Tubbs' question that I'm pretty sure Joe said he didn't want to talk about, but maybe I'm wrong.
That was the worst question of the night.
Bash Tub.
But Tubbs, literally, we asked him anything you don't want to talk about. Anyway, I digress.
He said right after he goes, that's kind of my soft way of mentioning that I do want to. Eric, you checked out after he said that. He said, "What's kind of my soft way of not doing it."
That was my soft. That was my soft announcement there.
All right,
Eric. What he's getting at is you're the one who missed the point. He said he was willing to talk.
Hey! I'm not going to tolerate all this W on W.
Okay.
I'm not going to tolerate all this W on W violence on this podcast here.
We're over an hour already. I'm not trying to rush off. I had a couple more questions, Joe, if you got time. And now, what would you say is the biggest difference between this race for state house than before? Any strategy changes? Anything and the makeup of your opponents?
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to go to that point right now. It's not qualifying yet. We got another month for that. But the way it looks right now, there's the incumbent Republican, which is the same for every race I've run in, and there's no Democrat. But there is a no party affiliated candidate running. So that's kind of the interesting dynamic with this. It is a heavily Republican district, but if it remains the same with no Democrat, I think it would be interesting to see how the NPA and myself kind of work out there. So yeah, we'll see. But that's the most interesting thing different this time around as far as the structure of the candidates go than previously.
Do you
in
think
those races? Sorry, Tub. In those races, is there a weird rule like if two Republicans ran and there was no one outside their party, it would make it an open primary?
Yes.
I don't know. So, and I wonder if the establishment sometimes throws in that NPA candidate or a write-in candidate even to make it to where it's a closed primary.
Yes. No, you're 100% right. That happens all the time here in Volusia County. I will say, though, I know this NPA candidate is not one of those.
He's not a paper candidate. He's a legit, or he's trying to run a legit campaign.
She is a legit. Yeah, she's trying to run a legit campaign. Yeah.
So does that NPA help you or hurt you? Because it'd be very easy for voters to go, well, they're kind of the same.
I did talk to her. We actually had a meetup, and she's great. I actually really like her. If I wasn't running, I'd probably vote for her. And we're talking about trying to get just the message out basically of like non-duopoly, because we're non-duopoly candidates, right? So at least hey, there are other choices. You don't have to vote Republican in this case. So yeah, I think it's a good thing. I actually think it's a good thing. Obviously, I'm not getting the votes that I would otherwise get with another candidate in the race. But I think for the overall election, and just the way electoral voting goes, I think it's a good thing.
Do you come to a point in that where you go, you know what? Hey, I'll drop out so as not to cause a split, and maybe you work something out with her that if she gets in, there's other things that you can do.
I like D said right here.
Not drop out of the race to endorse one of my opponents. Period. And I would never ask one of them to do that for me. I'm running as a libertarian. The people have already contributed to my campaign.
Right.
And not only that, to what we mentioned earlier, how about us being the frontier of taking the arrows for the Libertarian Party. If I dropped out, I'm harming the party. There are people who are going to be out there that says, oh, the Libertarians, they drop out and endorse their opponents. I'm not supporting them. I'm going to lose voters. I'm going to lose fundraisers. I'm going to lose volunteers. Mm-hmm. I'm going to lose future candidates that are serious about running for office. So I just hurt the Libertarian Party by doing that. So I wouldn't do that. If I were someone that would drop out and endorse my opponent, I'd run NPA because I don't want to do harm to my party. So,
all right, we got the link up again. please, I'm begging for Tub here because he's one that usually begs for stuff. He's always asking me for $2 here and there. So
do you have a couple bucks I can borrow?
Yeah.
No.
He says he wants to buy a cup of coffee, and I know what it's really for.
I don't even drink coffee.
Well, it's not for,
but anyway,
it's on meth, so that's not a.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask. This is like because I follow the guy, and I found it very interesting. Between Randy Fine and Dan Blazarian, how do you say his name? Blazarian. Where do you what's the vibe down there like that for Dan Blazarian?
So Joe, I know that question was for you, but there's actually another Republican. I think his name's like Aaron Baker. He ran last time. He's still running this time. I felt bad for him with Dan Blazarian jumping in and shaking the race up. Like, it would have been nice to have seen what Aaron Baker could have done against Randy Fine. Sorry, Joe, to steal your thunder. Go ahead.
No, that race is I live in that district. I'm a voter in District 6, and I think Randy Fine, and I don't think I'm being biased here because it's my district, because he's my member of Congress, but yeah, I think he's the worst member of Congress out of all of them. And I don't say that lightly. I think he's actually the worst member of Congress, and he happens to be my member of Congress. Now, there is a Libertarian running that race, Andrew Parrott. He ran in special election for that seat when Mike Walsh resigned.
Yeah, that name's we had him on before.
Yeah, so I'm hoping to get him qualified. I don't know if he is or not, because it's a lot of money to qualify. But I'm hoping he qualifies, and he has my support 100%. Andrew Parrott. We're going to send Washington the Bird. And but yeah, other than that, I don't know. I just man, Randy Fine is just terrible. Honestly,
he is a large piece of feces.
Yes.
And with that being said, we're gonna start wrapping this up. We're gonna go to Tub on his closing question statement, whatever you got for our good friend Joe Hanush on his race and whatever else you got for him.
Listen, Joe, thanks for covering. And I do want to make it clear, I don't know if you were able to hear that I did suggest, because Marcus, we mentioned that you are probably the hardest working man in the Libertarian Party. So I suggested that we refer to you to James Brown of the Libertarian Party, because you truly do a lot of work, like for real, like you really do. And I know that there is a lot of it. The only person I put in comparison to you is Dee herself.
Marcus.
No.
Literally, this is all you do, Marcus. You email, and technically, and Joe does
this very well.
So I type those damn emails every week to these people.
Yeah, but Joe sketch.
Joe, thanks for covering. Thanks for doing the work that you do. And like I said, you'll wrap it up and make sure when you do that, you not only tell everybody how they can donate, because that's being clear. Maybe mention what you're going to do with the money as you raise money. And also, of course, how they can reach you on social media and those type of things. But thanks a lot, Joe, for coming on.
No, thank you. And I really appreciate that and people recognizing that. But yeah, there's a lot of people that actually make it easier for me to do that are these like individual state parties. They'll have someone, a lot of them do, someone that is focused on candidates in their own state. And I could, they're a point of contact. I reach out to them. They'll give me contact information for some candidates. I could push that up, to you guys and to other, other folks like Terry and other people. And that's a passion of mine. I love doing that. It gives me joy when I see a candidate that I invited, that I scheduled on your podcast. Like that warms my heart, honestly. Like sincerely, that's why I joined the party, because that's building viability. I love what you guys do. You guys are getting candidates on. I know you guys do too. Like, I really appreciate it. And this is part of what the Libertarian Party needs. We don't have mainstream media anymore. They're not as important as they used to be. It's podcasts now. People go on Joe Rogan. So this is kind of like Joe Rogan of the Libertarian
That's exactly what we're like. We are exactly like Joe Rogan of the Libertarian Party.
No, so just I appreciate you
we
guys.
Are.
I'm glad we can work in
symbiosis
here. So.
Hey, go make a quote somewhere, Marcus, and just put, hey, the Joe Rogan of the Libertarian Party. It has been said.
Hey,
it's not a lie.
Stop reading my mind. Stop reading my mind.
We are the Black Powder Podcast.
The Rogan.
The Joe Rogan of the podcast of the Libertarian Party.
But Evan McMahon said that, so you could put that.
Evan McMahon. Go back and watch him.
Hey, I was able to change it on X. I was able to change to Joe Hanush, so I just want to put that out there.
Everyone, let Marcus know if he was wrong on X.
Anyway, Eric, what do you got?
Do your part.
Hey, Joe, thanks for coming and hanging out. It was a blast. Sorry, we had too much fun. Just kidding.
It was fun. It was fun. Thanks, guys. Like I always have a great time on here. This was no different. This was awesome. So I always love hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
Is that it, Eric?
Yeah. What else?
Yeah,
what
you kind of left us looking off the.
That's great.
All right.
That's great.
Joe's kind of like Lars. He's just like part of us.
No, my phone's about to die anyway, so it's good.
Yeah, we need to get Lars on. We need to reach out to Lars.
It's been a few weeks since Lars has been on.
Joe is still on here. You're already thinking about getting
Lars is on here more than I am.
Well, I literally reached out to when Joe and I were talking today. I was like, when are you going to schedule your? Can I finish my segment? I literally asked Joe today, when are you going to book yourself? KC or Kano? Did I?
You did.
Yeah. So I've been trying to get this guy on, but he's such a unselfish person, unlike Tub, that wants to see everybody else elevated around him. He is the tide that is raising the libertarian boat at the moment. Unlike Tub. Tub is the one with the
I'm the anchor, dude.
drill.
I'm the anchor.
That one where you spin it around, corkscrew drill, and he's drilling holes at the bottom of the libertarian boat because he's a
just letting water in.
Yeah, just letting.
But it's one of the manual drills, so it
ain't he's doing it old school way. But I cannot express enough gratitude to you for what you do for the libertarian movement as well as this podcast, because we've seen a elevation since you took over the guest coordination role. And like I said, dude, you are the bedrock of this podcast, and I truly thank you for everything you do, not only for us but for the whole liberty movement. You are one of our unsung heroes, and just being able to have you on here and speaking to your candidacy is a tremendous blessing for us here. That was for Tub.
And Joe, how many times when you bring people on here do you got to tell them, listen, just deal with Marcus. It's just deal with him. Tub and Eric will be there. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I don't even tell anyone about you guys. It's all Marcus. That's how they come on. That's
You're like, there's a black guy. He's got a podcast. Are you interested?
I guess Rob's been in a little bit of the creature because he says, Joe, you're awesome in so many ways. And you should. And he came back with the chair. He didn't take awesome.
He didn't care about awesome.
Oh, wait, there you go.
There it is.
All right. Hey.
All right. So,
Evan, you don't want to endorse Rob Yates for chair?
I as Evan McMahon, I endorse Rob Yates. I am dropping out of the race. No, I'm kidding.
All right.
Oh, Evan just officially dropped out.
And there it is.
Joe, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Who do we got coming on next week?
Yeah, Rebecca Whiting. Whiting, I might be saying it wrong, but she is awesome. She is the U.S. Senate candidate in Minnesota. She's trying to collect petitions in a few weeks. She's a veteran. You guys will I think enjoying that. She's anti-war to the core. She's awesome. I really couldn't sing her praises more. You guys are really going to enjoy the show next week.
Awesome. Thank you. So back to you on your closing. Hold on, maybe we got one more new comment. She'll be Rebecca Black again. 3 elections. All right.
I'm going to cancel her now. No.
I'm just glad I was able to evolve over the last 3 elections to be able to dance and like spicy food. That's the only thing I just wanted to.
You know what? I can't do anything about the spicy food, but I would very much like to see you stand up and dance right now.
If nobody's gonna throw,
Marcus
nobody's throwing me some dollars.
Pants.
D chimes in. D, the hardest working NPA person we know, because she said she's
now it's kind of like, is she the hardest person in the living? Anyways, go ahead.
Did anyone catch Thomas Massey today saying Larry Sharp has good ideas? I did
not, but I heard comments about it.
You know why?
Comments from D.
Because Larry Sharp has good ideas.
Yeah.
Indeed. So I'm putting up the website once again, and the most important part of that website is the donate button on there. Joe, you want to tell everybody how they could find you, social media, websites, all that good stuff?
Yeah,
your personal phone number.
Go to Joe Hanoush or on X account, and you can do facebook.com/Joe Hanoush. I'm mostly on those, and that's really it. So if you want to follow me there.
And are you going to ask for money?
Yes, give me money. I'm trying to fundraise right now to pay the qualifying fee. So I need that in about 1 month. So I need to raise, I think, $600 more. So anything y'all can do. The maximum is 1,000. I know y'all want to give more than 1,000. You can't. 1,000 is the legal limit. The rest have to give back. So, but anything helps. $5, $10. Anything helps. Like, share, comment on my posts. All of that helps. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
So I just heard from Free. Free is going to put up at least $100. Is that what Free said?
Gonna match.
Yeah.
Who's gonna match?
When Free gives his $100, we're going to have a matching contest, and for a spot as a guest on the Black Powder podcast, the only real libertarian podcast that has ever existed. So why don't you want to come on here?
Hear me out.
Thank you, Free.
If Free gives his $100 and 2 other people not on this podcast give 100, and then Marcus and Tub gives 100, then I'll give the last and final 100.
Well, Rob says he will also match 100.
Well, so, Free, waiting on Free, but
yeah, I don't know if he's still here.
Close it out. Text Free.
Yeah. So shout out to Free for giving $100. We're putting him on. With that being said, anything else from anybody?
I'm sorry.
No.
Nope. Silence says no.
All right.
See you later.
We will catch you guys next week when we have, what's her name again, Joe?
Rebecca Whiting.
Rebecca Whiting. Wait 3 elections. She's going to be Rebecca Blacking, as Rob so eloquently put it. But this has been a Black Powder podcast.
Do you think in that thinking that in 1 election or in 2, she becomes Rebecca Hispanic?
There is a gradual progression in melanation over the election cycles.
All right.
All right. Thank you guys, whoever you watched, listening, whatever you did. We had we're closing out at over 750 people, almost 800. It's been
just close it out already.
Just close it. Make it happen.
Yeah, my battery's gonna die right now.
All right.
Yeah.
With that being said,
my battery's gonna die right, and then just cut it off.
With that being said, as we always end this has been the Black Powder podcast. Live free
or die.
Or die.
Peace.
Or die.